fine howdy doody to y'all today. What an amazing, beautiful, fantastic Sunday we've had. So many things to talk about, and what a crazy, crazy week. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Counterculture Wise Radio. We are here to entertain you for the next 2 hours, maybe a little bit more. Let me entertain you. We'll get DM, see it on YouTube. No, we won't, because we're not on YouTube. Okay.
Well, we kind of are. But...
Yeah, we kind of, sort of, the 5 minutes that we can play without being
I think that song we just did probably gets us banned.
Yeah, right there, exactly.
No.
Well, folks, I am your hostess with the mostest, Ms. Melanie Hope, and here in studio with me is, well, he's my co-host, happens to be my husband, he's also my very best friend, and my sweet baboo, Mr. James Moniz.
Look for the bare necessities, the simple bare... Wait a minute, that's Baloo, not Baboo.
Oh, Baloo, baboo, I can see where you get confused. Yes, that's very confusing. Yes, especially.
Hi, everybody.
Especially given the shape of the bear and given the shape of the gym, I can see where you would get those two.
I'm trying to change it, but then I go
but
to
then
church.
Fish fries at church.
Yeah, it's like I've been on this low carb diet a couple of weeks. I wasn't never going to mention it on the show, but
hush, little puppy, swallow some carbs.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't
French
eat any
fries
hush puppies, but
and 97 desserts, and
it was delicious and horrible, and I felt sick and
homemade tartar sauce.
I actually was feeling a little ill and went to bed for a while.
Yeah, he did. He carved himself good, and me, I'm no good. I can't even get through a plate, so I got like half a piece of fish. One spoonful of beans.
The fries were good. They had
a couple of fries, and I was out.
They had this delicious orangey.
Oh, coconutty
dessert.
Mandarin and
no idea what it was.
Yeah,
had a brownie.
No, it was cottage cheese, mandarin oranges, coconut, and I think that's it.
And then I'm back to normal tomorrow, or whatever the new normal is.
Whatever the new normal is. The new normal is not potatoes.
Unfortunately,
yeah, because you went down hard.
Yeah.
So our show may be a little sparse today.
Oh, I think I managed to scramble together enough good stories, and
Well, I mean, we have so many really important things to talk about, like yawn, king, yawn.
God save the king. He ain't done a damn thing.
Well, I mean, he did murder his first wife. So
there's that.
Yeah.
Really? Anyway.
Oh, you didn't know that?
No.
Yeah. Him and the Clintons.
So anyway,
pretty notorious for that kind of
some
stuff.
guy with gigantic floppy ears and a hideously ugly face didn't acquire any of Queen Elizabeth's anything.
Ever seen, what's her name? Kamala, what is her name?
Camilla?
Yeah. Have you ever seen her and Dr. Jill in the same room?
No, they're the same person. She just affects an English accent when she's next to.
Literally
and
the same
then
person.
Just steers Joe wherever he needs to go.
Married to literally the same idiot.
Well,
except the king has no power, so he doesn't get to completely ruin his country.
Well, side chicks unite. You might wind up being married to the king someday.
God save the queen.
Yeah, so that happened. In case you were been under a rock for a few days. And everybody's favorite white-black woman did not go.
Yeah, okay, so I've got these articles because there's all these really crazy... Okay, seriously, she's not black, like, at all. Like, not even... I've got a darker tan than she does. This is ridiculous. Why are we even talking about this?
I don't know.
The Duchess of Sussex stepped outside for a peaceful 40-minute hike, really, pussy, for her and Prince Harry's $15 million home Sunday morning. Prince Harry and their two children, Archie and Lilibet, did not join Markle for the outdoor adventure. However, the Suits alum was in good company with longtime... Suits must be a show she was in or something?
I don't know.
Longtime pals Marcus Anderson and Heather. They're reporting this like it's news.
There's one thing I just don't get.
Who gives a rip?
Well, I mean, the point is she didn't attend because Lilibet and... whoever the other one was.
Her son's birthday.
Yeah, for her son's birthday.
She stayed in California the weekend while Prince Harry flew to UK to support his father's historical moment. Markle kept it casual for the outing, and they describe what she wears because we give a crap. Seemingly trying to stay incognito, the former actress completed her look with large frame sunglasses.
She's
because
still
we
acting.
Don't give a crap. The rare appearance comes after many people questioned Markle's intention to not attend King Charles III's coronation amid her and Harry's fractured relationship with the royal family. Yeah, because she's a racist biatch who's calling everybody else racist because she's white.
Sorry
but
for my
declares
continual
herself
throat
other
clearing,
things.
folks.
And they go on and on and on about what she wore. This is so just...
It's like the goofy fashion pages of the 1960s
yeah,
in magazines. It's dumb.
So vapid. I mean, why is this even news?
I have no clues. That rhymed. Yeah, so...
And then they go on and on about Prince Harry's choice of coronation outfit sparked criticism because he opted for a non-British brand for his suit.
Okay.
Who cares?
Apparently everybody, because they're writing this stuff. Here's the thing, though. Didn't we fight a war to get away from these people, and now all of a sudden it's all anybody's bloody talking about?
Yeah, I don't get it. Oh, he's wearing a Dior suit. Why can't he wear a suit designed by one of our great British tailors? Because nobody gives a flying rip. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Oh, good Lord. I mean, these people, they have no life. And the sad thing is, the people who are pretending like they care are a bunch of poor slobs like us who aren't affected literally in any way at all with this nonsense. I mean,
even if we lived in England, we wouldn't be affected by all this nonsense. I mean, it's just pomp and circumstance, uncircumstantial circumstance for that.
Yeah.
So anyway, the best thing about it was there was video that somebody who looked like the Grim Reaper zipping by.
I wonder if he's the same guy that was on the Florida beaches when they opened up.
I don't know, but it was the best part of it. The Grim Reaper showing up at a coronation.
Little late there, buddy. She's already gone.
Yeah, well, you want to make
Grim Reaper coronation video goes. Oh wow, he was actually like walking outside.
Yeah,
while
outside
it was happening.
while this was happening. Yeah, it's just a few seconds long.
Eagle-eyed television and social media viewers were certain they saw an ominous road figure lurking in the background. A video of a figure people thought was the Grim Reaper went viral. Well, it does definitely look like the Grim Reaper.
Yeah, it definitely looks like.
According to the royal family, Westminster Abbey has been the setting for every coronation since 1066. Well, that cuts rather the evening, doesn't it? Before the Abbey was built, coronations were carried out wherever was convenient, taking place in Bath, Oxford, and Canterbury. What does that have to do with the Grim Reaper?
They're just giving you a history.
But in a place where we don't need it. Oh, okay.
It's to fill up a number of words.
Anyone else just noticed the Grim Reaper? Okay, so there's like a video.
Yeah.
A really boring, long-winded video. Okay, so, yep, that's definitely the Grim Reaper.
Yep. Reaper walks by. Yep.
Okay, let's have he walked by really fast though. I would think that the Grim Reaper would walk slower.
Yeah, that was the same thing I thought. I mean,
because he's like bookity, 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 bookity.
They're either walking very slow or just standing still and raising a finger, you know. And
then of course they're saying the blue and yellow carpet is an homage to Ukraine.
They're coming up with all kinds of nonsense.
Aren't we supposed to be the tinfoil hat wearing conspiracy theorist crazy people? I thought that was our gig.
Hey, we inherited the country.
Step off, guys. Step off, man. We got a job to do here.
Oh boy,
criminy.
But yeah, why does? If anybody's listening, either now or in the future, somebody explain to me why this is so fascinating. With my voice all choked up like this, I'm starting to sound like the frogs are made gay.
Well, they already were. So, I mean, talk about a visionary. I mean, what has he gotten wrong, Mr. Jones?
Not much.
God, guys,
not much.
Nostradamus has nothing on him.
Yeah. But anyway.
And the great thing about Alex Jones is he's really specific. So if he's wrong, you know, he's super, super wrong. Where Nostradamus is like, well, this thing may kind of sort of happen on
it's almost
this about-esque date. that could be considered this thing that might
Well,
look
I mean,
like
it was
it's
the same
happening.
kind of thing as Revelations at the end of the Bible. You know, it's
No,
a
that's
lot of
pretty
stuff.
specific.
Yeah.
It's just people keep trying to attribute things to it that aren't necessarily the thing. I think it's going to be pretty clear. There's a lot of things that it said that's like, oh, yeah, this is quite literally happening. I mean, right down to, child sacrifice.
So,
Just making sure the mutts are behaving, and they are. They're being good mutts.
yeah, I don't know.
I don't know about these two. Yeah. Are you being good mutts? Okay. I was just worried they're like eating the house or something. We got squirrels for that.
That's true.
Okay, great. Now you got me choking. We keep it real professional here at Counterculture Wise. Okay, well, speaking of the Grim Reaper, it looks like you got another customer this week.
Yes, we did, unfortunately. But he was not a young man. One of Canada's greatest singer-songwriters, Gordon Lightfoot, passed on this week. And I'll say, first of all, that his music has always been amazing to me. And in 1989, I actually had the privilege of seeing him live in concert at Chastain Park in Atlanta. I got to tell you,
you are such a name dropper. Who is it that you haven't seen yet? Okay, guys. No.
I haven't seen Ed Sheeran. I haven't seen Ed Sheeran, and I haven't seen Post Malone, and I haven't seen Madonna, and I haven't seen Lady Gaga, and I haven't seen. I guess that's
You're
all.
just
of them.
name dropping all these names. I'm like, okay, I think I know Madonna.
No, but he was the least pretentious performer I ever saw, and I'll explain why. First of all, his music is very deceptively simple. But his guitar string broke, and he didn't have another guitar. He said, "Damn, my guitar string broke." So he stood on stage while we all just sat there while he restrung his guitar, and he just picked up where we left off. No big deal.
Well, I mean, what else would you do?
Well, yeah, I know.
He wasn't the best looking guy.
He was all right looking.
Not when he got older.
No, when he got older, he wasn't. When he was younger, he was all right looking. And then later on, he forgot the words, and of course said, "I forgot the damn words." I mean, they're his songs, but I mean, some of my all-time favorite songs, and some of these were covered by artists like Elvis Presley and like that.
Well, I know your favorite is the wreck of the Ella Fitzgerald.
I was just going to talk about that. Actually, it isn't.
See, I like If You Could Read My Mind.
That's my favorite song of his.
Yeah.
Second in line would be Early Morning Rain, and then the song that Melanie can't stand because I don't know why. It's just
the thing
very
and the
repetitive.
stuff repeats over and over, and thing and stuff and the thing.
But music does that. It repeats over and over again. Any
It's so
blues song
boring,
does
and
this.
everyone died, and now they're all at the bottom.
But there was a great stand-up comic named Richard Jenny who made a whole routine out of that.
Yeah?
You want to clear a party, you just play the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. The ship hit a reef, everybody drowned, and the lungs all filled with water. I got to go now. It just...
I'd write a nice ending to the song, but I don't want to bother.
Actually, that Edmund Fitzgerald, it's a true story, and Melanie and I watched a mini documentary about it, and it was a really tragic event.
Very tragic, and the bodies are still there.
Yep.
They consider it a burial site.
Because it's too cold to go down there and rescue them. And besides, what would be the point of rescuing them 50 years later anyway?
Yeah, where do you bury the survivors? Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. Just leave them there. Let them be happy where they are. Just whatever.
It's hard to believe that took place on a lake. Because, I mean, that's a big old lake when it can take down a big old ship like that.
Oh, yeah, it was a huge ship. But, yeah, he's a very unique singer-songwriter. In fact, back when his first album came out, people were calling him the Canadian Dylan. And if you heard the first album, you'd understand why. It had so many great songs on it. And, you know, his sound changed when he changed labels a few years later. But, you know, still very simple, some more orchestration, that kind of thing. But he kept his arrangements very simple. And another cool thing about him, before we move on to the next subject, most of his band members had been with him for years, like literal decades. the band that played with him in '89 that I saw live, I think was the same band that backed him up on his '70s and '80s records. And it was very simple. It wasn't a huge band. It was just like him, I think another guitarist, a bassist, and a drummer. And that was it. So, yeah, I had a great time at that concert, and it's stayed with me a long time.
Cool. Well, so we celebrate death, we celebrate birth, and let's celebrate anniversaries. Well, a shout out to friends who most likely aren't listening because, they're celebrating their 29th
yes,
anniversary.
Indeed.
So some folks that we love from our church, and what an amazing story they have to tell. Someday we'll...
I think we should have them on to talk about it, because it's
I'm
kind of a
planting
miracle.
the seed. We'll see. I mean, it's hard to get people to be like on a live show. It's a little intimidating, even though we don't have anybody listening to us. So
That's not true.
Even
That's
our
not true.
typical audience isn't in chat. So
Oh, well. We got lives.
But yeah, we might bring them on because boy, do they have some stories to tell. But 29 years is nothing to sneeze at. They should be very proud with a marriage that, I mean, they married very young, and they're still very young, and they're fun and vibrant. So happy anniversary to Quinta and Roger. Mm-hmm. And happy anniversary, I guess 35 years, to Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson.
It just proves that sometimes in Hollywood, marriages do last.
Yeah, that's actually quite surprising.
Yeah, that it is pretty amazing. And, they're both really talented. She made...
Yeah, usually when actors marry each other, it doesn't go well.
It doesn't go well. But her first appearance with Tom Hanks was on the show Bosom Buddies.
I loved that show.
Yeah. Well,
Such a fun show.
It was funny because it was somebody who she was dating one of the two. Okay, they were out on a date. Both the guys were there with her, and it's like, so what do you do? What kind of things do you like to do? Oh, I go for long walks in the park. I worship Satan, and I.
Did she really say that?
And then she puts on this black robe, and they both freak out and run. So, yeah. But, yeah, they also were in the movie Volunteers with John Candy, and that was a fun movie. I mean, it wasn't an Academy Award winner or nothing, but, Tom was just a few years away from being an Academy Award winner, more than one.
Yeah, he did good for himself.
Yeah, he did.
Very versatile actor.
Yeah,
versatile.
He can do almost anything.
Yeah.
So, sadly, yesterday, there was yet another mall shooting, and this time one happened
another
here.
white supremacist Trump voting.
Yeah, except
crazy.
That so far as I know, he had a Hispanic name, and I don't...
Well, that means nothing. You can totally be a white supremacist and Hispanic at the same time. Have you not been paying attention?
I've been trying not to. But anyway, he supposedly, according to the Washington Post and the FBI, so I completely trust them, he had some kind of white supremacist symbol on him, like on a necklace or a T-shirt.
Was it
tattoo.
the OK sign? Because apparently that makes you a supremacist now.
Supposedly posted on Facebook about all this racist crap, but honestly, it's not about any of that. Because usually when these people go in, even if they are avowed supremacists and they go in and it's documented and proven that they've done this.
Well, it seems to me that being a white supremacist would be just another symptom of being insane.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of mental illness
I think those
involved
go
here.
hand in hand. I mean, call me kooky.
And of course, the usual pearl clutching, hand wringing. Why doesn't
it's the
everybody?
gun's fault. It's the gun's fault.
Let's take away everybody's AR-15s,
Yeah.
including the one that the peaceful guy who hasn't even pulled it out of its case in 15 years. Let's just take that, guys, and let's take innocent podcast hosts that happen to have guns for self-defense.
Women who want to protect themselves from the likes of that guy, they should definitely not be able to.
Oh, and black people, because,
especially black people. I mean, that was the whole point of gun control to begin with.
Yeah, so...
Don't want those guys having them. Jeez.
Nope.
Let's be responsible citizens here. Don't let those guys... You don't want them getting uppity and, defending themselves.
Unbelievable. Absolutely.
Lather, rinse, repeat. And then they rail against the thoughts and prayers, and then nobody does anything. And
It's because our hands are tied and we can't do anything else.
well, it seems to me that
I mean,
what's the alternative? To say, forget you. I'm not going to do any thoughts and prayers. You can just, screw yourself. I'm like, what do they want? It's like they're never happy. They're never happy. No matter what, they're never happy.
No, they'll only be happy when they're in charge.
Well, they are in charge. That's the problem.
I
That's why things have gone so horribly. Yeah. That's why things have fallen apart so much, because they're the ones in charge.
Indeed. So,
I mean, before there were gun-free zones all over the dang place, we didn't have this issue. Now that we're making everybody sitting targets,
yeah,
they're just big, fleshy targets now, and that's by design. They want this, because the minute they can disarm us, they can completely control us, not that they don't already.
Well, there are pockets like Texas and a few other places where this... Which is kind of sad, because that's where this last gun thing happened. I know that's what you're thinking, perhaps. But
I'm also looking at the frequency and the visibility of these, especially the ones at schools. And this isn't random. This isn't happenstance. Take this to the bank. It's going to get worse before it gets better, especially as the...
election time comes
Yeah, I don't want to sound like I'm kooky, but I predicted this last time, and I was 100% right. And this isn't exactly a "see, I told you so" thing, because it's so horrific.
we don't want to play that game with this. It's just...
But that's exactly what's happening.
Illness thing,
I'm not going to use the term false flag, because they are killing people.
Right.
But we really have to consider the idea that somebody who says they want to die or could have terminal illness or is already insane, all it would take is just a little something to tip them over and get them to do what you want.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't take much.
Right.
We'll take care of your family. I mean, you look at this last school shooting. Do you know a single child's name? A single teacher's name? No. But the entire LMNOP Rainbow Mafia is defending the crazy murderer.
Right.
We're supposed to respect her pronouns. Screw her pronouns. She's a murderer. I don't care what she thought she was in life. She's a murderer. And I don't care if it's disrespectful. I will pee on her grave before I will call her a man. I will pour Bud Light on her grave, same thing as peeing on it, before I will respect her stupid-ass pronouns. Because if she wasn't already insane, she wouldn't have done what she did.
It's true.
But we can't talk about that. We're supposed to respect your... Yeah, screw her. No, I'm not respecting your stupid-ass pronouns.
I'm not respecting you either.
And that's the thing. We talked about this in church today, and it really, really hit me between the eyes. Our pastor said that we are supposed to love and not support the crazy. So he basically said, you're wrong, and I love you.
Right.
And that's the thing that people miss about our faith, is telling you that what you are doing is wrong. Mm-hmm. Telling you that what you're doing is not real, that it is a sin, is not hate.
No.
Because if I hated you, I would let you go out there and destroy yourself. I would let you continue to mutilate your children and, pull pieces off of your perfectly healthy body and go down that path where you're going to be miserable and you're going to get worse. And I would sit back and point and laugh if I did hate you.
Right.
You look at the party of hate, and it's the people who despise themselves so much that they have to pierce and tattoo and just... I mean, it's one thing to have a few, but it's another thing to want to slice yourself open, to take off your perfectly healthy body parts, to rip a living human being out of your body and murder it. That's hate. That's what hate is. Hate is not saying, hey, maybe you should take better care of yourself. You know, hey, maybe you shouldn't kill that infant. Here's a thought. Maybe you shouldn't torture, mutilate, and sterilize your own children. That is not hate. That is literally the opposite. So they try to gaslight us with trying to say, oh, if you don't go along with all my absolutely insane blue-haired, piercing, pussy hat-wearing, child-mutilating tendencies, then you're hateful. Honey, you're crazy. You're nuts. And I have no hate in my heart for you at all. I want you to get help. But get your grubby, ugly paws off of the children. Because if you want to go out and mutilate yourself and be miserable and polyamorous and, you know, trans this and whatever pronouns you want and whatever, hey, knock yourself out. I'm not going to play your little game. You can't make me. And get your grubby mitts off the children. It's that easy. There's no hate there at all. No hate at all. None. I would absolutely bend over backwards to get these people help.
Absolutely.
If they wanted it, but they don't.
Most of the time they don't. I think that with enough counseling and prayer they could, well, I mean, they'd need to agree to counseling anyway.
Well, see, there you go with thoughts and prayers again, you right-wing nut. Anyway. So this Hispanic white supremacist shot up a mall where probably it was a gun-free zone so nobody could shoot back.
Most likely.
Well, actually, if it was in Texas, it probably wasn't a gun-free zone.
Probably wasn't.
So where's the hero? Why didn't we get a hero this time? I'm getting to the point where I don't want to go anywhere in public. I don't want to go to concerts. I don't want to go to ball games. I don't want to go to malls. And maybe that's the point.
Well, I'm trying to talk her out of it because there are some concerts coming up that I really want to go to. But I think with that, it's more of just she doesn't like big crowds. I mean, we'll go to a small venue and
yeah,
enjoy
I like smaller venues. I like
or
more
like-
intimate. I don't like $45 beer. I don't like $2,000 seats where I still have to watch the entire concert on the Jumbotron because you
Right.
can't make out the stage. What's the
Right.
point?
Yeah.
Might as well stay home and watch it on YouTube. I got a
Well,
better
it's the same
view.
thing with sports events. I mean,
Yeah.
you got the best seat in the house in a restaurant and bar of your choice, right? But yeah, I mean, at the same time, I like medium size. I like most Vegas showrooms. That's totally fine. That's a good size. Arenas, I'm no longer interested in going to, unless it is something along the lines of like Pink Floyd or something, which, I mean, that's not going to happen, but let's say Roger Waters, something like that, where you just need the huge spectacle. But
I'd rather go to the laser show, lay on the ground, hear the same music.
Yeah.
Don't have some stone jackhole plowing into me. Don't have to pay a fortune to park. I mean, because that's the thing. It's like airlines now. They make you pay for your seat. It's like, fine, I'll stand. No, you have to pay for a seat. Then include it in the ticket price. It's the same thing with concerts now. It's like you have to pay for everything, every little tiny thing. So now you're paying to get there. You're paying to park. You're paying to get in. You're paying for a bottle of water that you could have just brought in, but oh no, you can't bring in even your own water anymore. If you want to have a beer or something, you're paying an insane amount. I mean, just they nickel and dime, and they don't even nickel and dime you to death. They $20 and $30 you to death. T-shirts, I mean, they used to be $5. Now they're $45. And they haven't gone up in quality. The designs haven't gotten any better, and the sound not any better. And again, you're so far away, you can't even make out the performer. You're up in the nosebleed section. You can't even figure out what you're seeing if it weren't for the Jumbotron. So basically, you're just watching the concert on TV. So what's the point? I mean, why
Wait
get
for
up,
it to start streaming on your favorite
miles,
service,
wait in
right.
line, which I despise. I hate lines with every fiber of my being. Pay a ridiculous amount for every single solitary little detail. And Jim doesn't have to worry about this, but you have to wait in line to go to the bathroom no matter what time of the concert, before, after, during, doesn't matter. There's always a line. And now the lines are longer because there's a bunch of men in the line trying to go to my bathroom. It's like, this is insane.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
Yeah.
And like I said, the quality of the actual entertainment hasn't gotten any better. I'd rather just watch it on YouTube.
Right.
Or TV.
I mean, very few shows are like true spectacles, like Kiss or what have you.
I would like to see a live Kiss concert, but I'd want to see it in a more intimate venue.
So we'd have to go back to Vegas before their stint ends.
Shucks.
Yeah, they had a run in Vegas for a while. I don't know if they're still doing it. They and Aerosmith and so many other classic rock bands are doing the, yes, this time it's for real. I actually am retiring. There will be no tours after this one tour. Do you hear me, Ozzy? Do you hear me, Crew? Do you hear me,
Eagles?
Hell freezes over part 5. Yeah, right. Okay,
All
sure.
We're ice skating in hell already.
No, it's really my last show,
Yeah. No, I say do what you love until you die on stage. Who's the guy that actually died on stage? There's one of them, but anyway.
Oh, there's several of them. Tiny Tim was one of them.
Tiny Tim died on stage?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah.
I didn't even know he was dead. It shows you what I know.
Well, he, but like, oh gosh, there's so many bands. There's like the Creedence Clearwater Revisited is supposed to be done. They made an agreement with John Fogerty, but they're still going. And
then they'll do that, and then they'll do Creedence Clearwater Regurgitated, and then they'll do Creedence. It'll be an all-cat band.
Okay, now that's our new band. Creedence Clearwater
Regurgitated.
Let's tick them all off.
I bet you Max would make that so.
We actually did see them, and they were bloody amazing.
I was born on the bayou.
And see, that was that is about the biggest venue I'd want to see a show at anymore.
Yeah, that was in Prim.
That was in Prim, and it was
we weren't even in Vegas proper.
Pretty decent sized venue. It wasn't.
But you still had to pay $20 for a piss water beer, and you still had to wait in line for 6 hours.
Well, the worst part of it was leaving. They didn't plan that real well. I remember us just standing in a long line forever just to get out. If somebody had a medical emergency,
yeah, forget it.
Yeah,
it was like getting off of an airplane.
It was a panic attack waiting to happen, and I don't get those very often.
It was like getting off of an airplane. Okay, first of all, why does everybody stand up as soon as the plane lands? You know you're not going anywhere. You know you're not getting... And I hate it, because I usually have a window seat, but a couple of times I've had an aisle seat, and the person at the window seat is just all hellfire that I'm not getting up. It's like, nobody's going anywhere. What's the point of getting up, bullying your bags out, and then standing there?
Here's my solution. This is Jim Solves the World.
All right, Jim solving the world.
If you've gone on a plane in recent years, you know they let people in by sections. They need to make sure everybody is seated, and then the ritzy-titsy people who paid $5,000 for the ticket, they get up and leave. Then the cheapos, the ones who bought the bargain basement tickets, they'd be the last to go. But just make sure you make it clear that if you have...
Here's me solving the world with your solve of the world.
Okay.
Ritzy-titsy people are always the first to go anyway.
Yeah.
All right. So what you do is you get the entire flight crew all the way in the back where all us po folk are.
Uh-huh.
Hand out beverages, mainly with vodka in them, and then we won't care that we're waiting 6 hours to stand up and wait in line to get off the dang plane, while the ritzy-titsy people take 47 hours to get their stupid bags out of the overhead compartment, and then stand there...
Oh, Conchita, would you get this for me?
Yeah, so all you do is you liquor us up good and proper. We've already landed, so we can't cause any problems. Or, you know what? The slidey thing is fun. Just put the slidey thing out and we'll all slide home.
Why don't we do that?
Why don't we do that? There's...
If I ran the airline, it would be that way.
If I run the airline, wee-ha! Yeah, I think everybody should get to ride the slidey thing at some point in their lives. I mean, it's basically a glorified bouncy house, right? Just pop the kids on down there, wee, clonk, off you go. So,
but no, since they have multiple
exits,
why don't you just have it like they used to have with the stairs that you just descend, gather in a group, and then
because they don't want you running willy-nilly on the tarmac anymore because people bring underwear bombs now. So we made this world, and now we got to lay in it.
Yeah, that's true.
Or lay over in it, as the case may be.
That is so true.
Okay, well, we've been BSing for 40 minutes now.
Which is exactly what my intention was. My evil plan worked, so okay.
All right, I did not give you the title of the first Weird and Wonderful. Let's go ahead and play our sounder. Where did our sounder go? Hey. There it is. We're nothing but professional here on Counterculture Wise.
Counterculture Wise is proud to present News of the Weird and Wonderful. Here are your hosts, Melanie Hope and Jim Monis.
So all I put in the title was banana!
Banana. And since she put it here and I was adding stuff, I did not see what it was. So
banana!
Yeah, that makes sense.
This is the world we live in now.
This is the world I used to live in. Anyway, a South Korean art student ate a banana that was part of an installation by artist Mauricio Catalan, saying he was hungry after skipping breakfast.
So this artwork that sells for millions of dollars is literally
a banana
duct taped to the wall.
A canvas or a wall, okay.
I think even Hunter does better artwork than that, but don't quote me on that.
The artwork, called Comedian, part of Catalan's exhibition We, consisted of a ripe banana duct taped to a wall at Seoul's Lium Museum of Art. After eating the banana, the student, No Hyun-soo, taped the peel to the wall.
And it became a better art piece.
The museum later placed a new banana at the same spot, reported local media.
So how is that art if they can just put another banana there?
Art is replaceable.
Well, this
is the 21st century. Art is replaceable.
This isn't art, though. Duct taping a banana to the wall is not art.
Well, tell that to the guy who did Whiz Christ and all those other things. Just.
Well, even that took some thought.
Yeah.
I mean, granted,
the
it
banana,
was satanic thought, but it was thought.
The Lium Museum of Art did not respond to an email inquiry by the BBC. However, it told media that it will not claim damages against the student. The banana on display is reportedly replaced every 2 or 3 days. In videos posted online, shots of "excuse me" can be heard as Mr. No takes the banana off the wall. He does not respond and starts eating as the room goes quiet.
We need to do this to all this god-awful, ridiculous, stupid-ass art. Just pull it off the wall and eat it.
Mr. No later told local media that he saw Catalan's work as a rebellion against a certain authority. There could be another rebellion against the rebellion, the Seoul National University student told KBS. Damaging an artwork could also be seen as an artwork.
You're not damaging an artwork. It's a banana taped to the wall.
I thought that would be interesting. Isn't that it taped there to be eaten? When told about the incident, Mr. Catalan said, "No problem at all. This is not the first time bananas used for Mr. Catalan's work have been eaten by a visitor." In 2019, performance artist David Tatuna pulled the banana from the wall after the artwork was sold for $120,000.
Seriously, $120,000
at Art Basel
for a
in
banana.
Miami. The banana was swiftly replaced and no further action was taken.
So, here's my idea of artwork. Take that $120,000 and go feed the hungry. That's artwork. Absolute morons.
Now all of a sudden...
Now, this is artwork. This is performance art I can get behind. If you're friendly, energetic, and up for a challenge, a zoo in a popular British seaside town may have the perfect role for you, chasing away seagulls while wearing a giant bird suit.
So a scaregull, okay.
Well, actually, he's more of an eagle.
Oh, okay.
So I guess he would be a scaregull instead of a scaregull. Okay. I get it, scarecrow. Okay, I see what you're doing there. The successful candidate will be paid around $13.50 to wear an eagle costume and act as a seagull deterrent to prevent the birds from harassing guests and animals alike at Blackpool Zoo in northwest England. Those applying should be visitor-focused, friendly, and outgoing, as you need to be comfortable wearing a bird costume, and it's literally an inflatable eagle. That's hilarious. Lively, energetic, fun, and most importantly, an excellent flapper will be top essentials during the interviews. The zoo added in a statement, particularly as successful candidates are likely to be approached for pictures by a lot of people.
Sure.
Now, I have seen Jim encounter a spider, and I can vouch for his excellent flapping, so I think you should apply for this job, Jim.
Where is this again?
England. The zoo.
I don't want to go anywhere where King Charles would rule over me. Just don't.
The zoo section head said that the job ad, the attention that the job ad had taken them all by surprise. More than 200 people have applied for the 5 available roles, including countries from a far field as Thailand, India, Ukraine, and Uganda. Fauci said some have even sent videos of themselves wearing fruit and vegetable costumes as part of their applications. One of them wore nothing but a duct tape banana to his...
Woohoo!
And we come full circle.
We need to take a moment of silence. I just got some news that has kind of set me back a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, Netflix is no longer going to be using DVDs. DVD services have been canceled.
Have they been using DVDs?
Apparently, yes.
I thought they gave up on those a while ago.
Nope, this just happened.
Well then.
No more DVDs.
Long live the king, long die the DVD.
Okay.
And hello to Nick in chat. We have an audience.
Yay!
Hey Nick, are you a good flapper? There might be a job for you in England.
He's good at a lot of other things, so
I think
would be...
if you apply for this job, not only do you have to be a good flapper, but you have to make the sound.
That's true. That's true.
Yes, so apparently the seagulls have become emboldened, and they are the number one complaint. And this article goes on and on and on about the evil, nasty, terrible seagulls. I'm sure they could size down the suit for you, Nick. I'm sure they could make it short enough for you. I mean, it would probably actually be life-size. He'd be like an actual life-size bald eagle, so that would probably work out. Alrighty. I think we can do one more article before we start paying some bills.
All right.
This one's kind of cute.
This is cute. This one's just cute. But we don't have news of the cute and wonderful, so this is just where I've happened to put it.
Well, it's just the way it's reported as cute, too.
A tiny intruder infiltrated White House grounds Tuesday,
Insurrectionists! Put him in jail now!
Prompting a swift response from the U.S. Secret Service. Anthony Guglielmi, chief of communications for Secret Service, said a toddler crawled through the fence on the north side of the White House, setting off security alerts. The Secret Service Uniform Division today encountered a curious young visitor along the White House north fence line who briefly entered White House grounds, Guglielmi said. The White House security systems instantly triggered Secret Service officers, and the toddler and parents were quickly reunited, and it feels so good. It's not the first time a toddler has crawled through the White House fence. There was a similar incident in 2014 when a toddler squeezed through the White House fence just before then-President Barack Obama was about to address the nation on Iraq. The breach prompted a temporary lockdown and delayed the briefing. We were going to wait until he learned to question him, but in lieu of that, he got a timeout and was sent on his way with parents. Edwin Donovan, then a spokesman for the United States Secret Service, said.
Well, I'm glad they rescued him from the president before he got a good sniffing.
Indeed. Your turn.
When you have a pedo president, you gotta watch your kids. All right, one last story, I promise. A black bear broke into a woman's car and drank nearly 6 cases of soda, only leaving a few cans of Diet Cola untouched.
Diet Cola, bleh.
Bear with.
I don't like that stuff, boo-boo.
Okay, in the bear's defense, this was a Jeep with a soft top, so he didn't really break into the car so much as he just kind of reached into the car.
Yeah.
British Columbia Sunshine Coast lady Sarah Roselle was awakened by her dog barking at 3 a.m. last Thursday. She looked outside and saw a black bear near her car. She watched the bear break through one of the car's windows with a noise that sounded like a gunshot. Ba-boom! He was after the cases of soda she had just purchased for her food truck business. Roselle said, I wonder how he knew the sodas were there. Roselle said she watched from her... through the can, though? Really?
Oh, yeah. They have noses even stronger than Allie's.
Molly has a very regal nose, I must give it. Roselle said she watched from her balcony for an hour and a half as the bear used its teeth to break open the cans and slurp their contents while making a huge mess in her car's interior.
Oh,
I mean, what else are you going to do, right? The bear drank 69 of the 72 cans of soda, leaving behind only 3 diet sodas. Roselle said it seemed to prefer the Orange Crush.
Well, wouldn't they? Wouldn't anybody?
Got my black bear, got my Orange Crush. The black bear's antics were caught on Roselle's security camera. She posted a few photos to Facebook to encourage others in the area not to leave any food or drinks in the car. Duh. Do not underestimate their sense of smell, Roselle said. We have to be bear aware. We have to live with them, and bears have memories. Oh, yeah, he'll be coming back. He'll be coming back. You know, dummy. All right, folks, we got to take a break here, pay a couple of bills. We'll be back with Holy Crap, This Is Actually Happening. Some more wonderful than weird, and, well, this is why we can't have nice things. So, don't go anywhere. We shall be, as soon as I can find the button, right back.
Hi, everybody. This is Fritzina Fluffybottom. Did you know that we have a Subscribe Star? We do! There are lots of fabulous extra things on there that you can't get anywhere else, like outtakes, new books, and extra videos. And you can sign up for as little as $1. Our entire show is funded by you, our loyal viewers. Please make sure you sign up today so that Mommy and Daddy can get me shiny new bells for my collar, extra feathery toys, yummy crumbly cat food bowls made just for kitty cats, more cow pillows for my couch, name brand albacore tuna, my own pink newscast.
And we're back.
We are indeed.
Yes.
I just was reading over the commercial break that another major store is leaving San Francisco, Nordstrom.
I didn't even know Nordstrom was still around.
Oh, they're still around, but yeah, they've after 35 years of catering to the same audience that helped to add to their closure, a bunch of rich white liberals shop at Nordstrom, and
Yeah.
now they're closing it down due to lack of foot traffic and increasing crime. Imagine.
And then they're going to complain, oh, it's a food desert, it's a clothing desert, it's a store desert. Well, you know, you kind of created that yourself there, buddy.
Go on Amazon.
Yeah.
Leave us alone.
Well, that's going to go away, too. I mean, have you seen the train tracks in that area? They just hop right on the trains and take Amazon
away.
packages, and if it's something they don't want, they just throw it on the tracks, and they're derailing trains, and they're breaking into trucks. It's like, people have gone insane.
Is this should this be another Australia where we just like chain it off and leave the crooks there?
I say build the wall and make it go right through California. Let's let the Eastern Californians live their lives in peace, and you'll have to block the Prince of Darkness from his winery. But I keep getting Gavin and Trudeau mixed up because they're basically the same guy.
The same guy.
And so okay, Gavin isn't the one that did blackface, but he probably did. He's the type. Okay, do you want to do more Wonderful, or do you want to talk about a story that directly relates to one of our ads?
Let's do that first, and then we can get back to the Wonderful.
Okay, this is typically, and this is why we can't have nice things, but this directly relates to the Dispirited Airlines, which is kind of funny, and it did literally just happen. A woman claiming to be pregnant, allegedly, attacked a Spirit Airline, allegedly, it's on video, attacked a Spirit Airlines employee at the county's busiest airport on Sunday after a few too many drinks, according to police documents. So she's drunk and pregnant.
Oh, well, brightness.
Q. Maria Scott, 29, faces disorderly conduct charges in connection with the brawl, which broke out after an airline employee turned her away from boarding gate D2 at Hartsburg-Jackson Atlanta International Airport on Sunday night. Before part of the melee was caught on video, she allegedly told the victim she was from West Philly and was going to beat our A, an employee told police. And she is a didn't-do. The clip shared to Twitter shows a woman punching and tackling another into a barrier as onlookers yell stop. 2 men try to pull them apart before the video ends, but the police report says it actually took 4 bystanders to separate them. Prior to the melee, police said an airline employee called 911 to report a dispute at the gate. As officers were responding, they received an update from dispatch telling them it had escalated to a physical confrontation because that's appropriate, according to the incident report released by Atlanta police. The victim, Jasmine Roden, an airline manager, told police that she had intervened after Scott allegedly threatened to beat up one of the gate agents. After the threats, the employee told her she could not board the flight, but she allegedly tried to get on anyway. So, honey, you're threatening the gate agents with violence, and you think you're just going to waltz your sorry ass?
Who knew what she would have done once she got on the airplane?
Exactly. I mean, are you really that
Ding Dong didn't
dumb?
think that far ahead. Yeah, she's that dumb.
Ms. Roden stated that the Miss Q Scott put her boarding
Miss
pass...
Q. Well,
Miss Q, yeah. Put her boarding pass in one of her pockets, pulled up her sweatpants, and proceeded to attack her by swinging her arms and hitting the victim on the left side of her face. She then stated that Miss Q Scott began to pull her hair at the scene and pulling her into a barrier that was at the location, causing them to fall to the ground. And surprise, surprise, she was wearing a wig, and of course that hit the dirt too. Scott allegedly fell on top of Roden and grabbed on tight until the 4 bystanders pulled her off. Roden stated that she clearly smelled of alcohol, even though Miss Q Scott claimed to be pregnant. Before police arrived, Scott made her way to the concourse of the Georgia airport, where a Homeland Security office held her until officers reached the scene. At this moment, the subject was still irate and using abusive language toward others involved at the scene. Yeah, I'm so glad you're breeding, honey. I'm so glad you're bringing another one into the world.
God help that child.
Scott claimed to be pregnant when APD officers arrived. Body cam video shows witnesses also told police she claimed to be pregnant, but at least one said she did not believe her. I didn't do nothing to nobody. Told you it was a didn't do. Scott says after officers placed her in cuffs, you really just got me booked. It's cool. I'm going to remember your face in my head forever. That was scary. Ooh, I'm so scared. I'm shaking in my boots. And, of course, she was cleared by medical professionals where she's being held on $1,500 bond and will probably immediately be let go by a Soros-funded prosecutor. According to Fox News Atlanta, Spirit Airlines previously had hired off-duty officers for additional security, but discontinued the practice. They might want to redo that. Mm-hmm. The airline did not immediately respond, yada, yada, yada.
I mean, I know that Spirit is a very irritating airline, but seriously, you get what you pay for, and if she was upset or something... I mean, she could have just been out of her mind drunk. I mean, it's quite possible.
And pregnant.
I pray not. Because if she gets into that kind of abuse, the baby wouldn't live anyway.
Yeah, well, there's that.
All rooty then. So we're getting back into weird and wonderful.
More wonderful than weird. Yeah. Okay, this actually isn't technically news, but I stumbled upon this blog post of a guy who wanted to see what was inside of a magic 8-ball. And apparently these things are virtually indestructible, and it's so well written, I just thought we should share.
Okay, go ahead.
Well,
you want me to go ahead?
One, yes.
Right.
It's really fun. It was a good read. I enjoyed it. So this was written clear back in 2013.
Okay.
So what is the author's name?
The long answer, I don't know.
Oh, the website is called Snake and Boris. It's on Blogspot. I want to make sure I give this guy credit because it's very well written and hilarious.
The long answer is I've wondered for years what the little message
the question is, so what's inside of a magic 8-ball?
Right.
Well, you didn't read the question.
Short answer is it's not magic. The long answer is I've wondered for years what the little message die inside a magic 8-ball looked like. I imagined it was solid and had 8 or 10 sides. I was wrong on both counts. Before we get to that, this toy is as secure as Fort Knox. I mean, it has to be because it's filled with blue goo, right? And who has ever heard of any pediatric misfortunes concerning the blue liquid?
Got a point.
This is why you need something just short of one stick of dynamite.
What's the prognosis? Well, he drank magic 8-ball blue goo. It's not looking good.
I figured the easiest way to remove the dye was to drill holes into the window, remove the window, and then just dump out the dye. Wrong again. It turns out that the dye is nearly as big as the window itself, and the jagged holes I made as I worked my way around the circle only blocked my progress. No worries, I just decided to dump out the liquid and continue my quest. Here's where another of my many helpful warnings comes in. The liquid, which one website called ink and Wikipedia calls alcohol or blue dye, finds a permanent home on skin. I didn't even realize it was running down both hands until I dumped out most of the contents into the drain. Don't tell the EPA, please. As a result, my hands were stained blue all weekend. After soap, rubbing alcohol, mineral oil, acetone, Clearasil pads, and finally soap again, on the second day I got the majority of it off. And it just kept coming. Not only does it fill up the entire chamber in the middle of the 8-ball, but there seems to be an extra reservoir beneath the main chamber that contains even more. And so, yeah, it does. There is a photo of the drained Magic 8-ball minus the ball and the ink. Well, I don't mind telling you at this point I'm hot, tired, and now stained blue, and that's when I really got mad. I took it outside in a large plastic shopping bag and beat it with a hammer on the garage floor until it popped open with a sound something like a 38 Special. Not the awful band. Go.
Awful.
I don't think they're awful either. I love 38 Special. I mean, yeah, they're not Leonard Skinner, but they're close.
Don't let go. I mean, come on, dude.
Anyway, going off near my ear. More blue dye leaked out, but like it was in the final throes of death. Now I have a cylindrical chamber that used to be contained in the center of the indestructible toy. I can see my quarry, and there are 3 Phillips head screws on the plastic disc at the bottom of the chamber. I run back inside, eager to remove the 3 screws. At this point, I figure there's probably a gold coin or, at the very least, a little plutonium in that chamber.
Plutonium.
Unfortunately, these screws are apparently
It's
just
mercury.
a red herring meant to frustrate anyone trying to actually dismantle the 8-ball, which I now suspect was designed by NASA or maybe even aliens. The screws fell to the floor and apparently served no purpose at all. Somewhere, someone was laughing at me and singing "Am I Blued?" just to make it worse. So, one more trip out to the garage, which is a lovely 145 degrees at this hour.
You must be either in Texas or Vegas.
Yeah. I retrieved the hammer. Hey, what a coincidence, so are we. I retrieved the hammer with the blue fingerprints on it and again beat the covered object until plastic shatters enough to remove my prize. And I hate to tell you after all of this, it's a little anticlimactic. Yes, the die, for lack of a better name, is neither solid nor 10-sided. In fact, it is an icosahedron. Everyone say it with me. Icosahedron.
Icosahedron.
Very good. A 20-sided monstrosity that is actually solid white, hollow, and extremely lightweight like a ping-pong ball.
Oh.
It's also made up of 2 10-sided pieces that are loosely glued together, so much so that there are holes where the points meet the other side. Somehow, this bugger is hollow, so I'll be hanged if I can figure out how it floats to the top. It does explain why additional blue dye kept flooding out at weird times, though. So now I can be told, here are the 20 possible answers you can receive if you ask your 8-ball a question.
Now, this is
Is
funny.
it okay for me to read this? Because I don't want to blow the illusion or the fun for anybody.
No, you know what? They can go to counterculturewise.com and follow the
There
link
it
if they're
is.
interested. But it's also on the Hasbro website, so.
All righty.
Yeah, he says, I was going to put deposit 10 more cents, please, as a joke answer until I realized there are no pay phones anymore, and it would just make me look elderly. The young folks will just have to look to Wikipedia to find what a payphone was. And speaking of Wikipedia, turns out all 20 of the messages are already in an article there, so aside from my new keepsake, I completely wasted an entire Saturday afternoon. Yeah, so if you want to look them up, the link will be on Counterculture.
Just one. I will blow a secret. One of them says yes.
Yes. Well, this is interesting though because he does continue.
Mm-hmm.
He or she. The person's. I don't know who the person is, so I'm sorry if I'm misgendering you. But before I quit, did you notice that the overwhelming majority of Magic 8-Ball answers are negative or neutral? This is probably the greatest tip I can give you. If you plan to use one to determine your future, ask it questions about things you really don't want to do, like, shall I mow the lawn now? Jim's running out to buy a Magic 8-Ball as we speak. Or, should I stop abusing myself while looking at internet photos of manatees?
Now I don't want to know this person.
Or does talking to a billiard ball make me less than sane? Well, I probably exaggerated. It's more like 50-50, so pay your money and take your chances. Just don't break it open if you plan on going anywhere for a couple of days. And he posted a picture of a Smurf. So I was looking for something completely unrelated, and I just stumbled upon this, and I enjoyed it so much I thought I'd share.
My turn again?
Your turn again. Well,
I started reading the last one.
You pooped out mid-article, so.
Okay. All right. Well, this is cool. A brave teenager rescued a baby from a bus hit by a burning car in West Vale, England.
Oh, wow.
Alira Kiran, 18,
Whoa,
was on
that
the...
car got torched.
Yeah, it did.
There's nothing left.
Ain't nothing left.
Whoa.
Alira Kiran, 18, was on the bus with around 40 people when it was crashed into by a car on fire last Wednesday. I was upstairs at the front, and all I could see was flames. Sorry, it's Britain. It was like something out of Final Destination,
She's
Alira
a woman,
told
so
local.
I was upstairs.
She doesn't look like she talks that way. She's actually a very lovely young lady.
Yeah, she is. Then we started hearing gunshot noises, and it was the tires bursting. Alira said everyone panicked. As she was rushing to get off the bus, she saw two women with a baby who were struggling to get off because of the mayhem. One of the women was saying, "Someone needs to take my kid." She was in tears, so I took the baby and put my hood up to shield her. For some reason, I thought the baby was in the flaming car, but anyway.
So did I.
One of the women,
Such a
okay,
bus,
that's
okay.
fine. It's still brave. The mother finally managed to get off the bus and thanked Alira. It all happened so quickly. Alira said, "Hopefully it'll never be a situation like that again." Alira's father said he's proud of his daughter. "We're so proud of her. She's always put others first," he said.
So who was in the car, and are they okay? I hate it when they tell you a story and it's like, but what happened to the dog?
I was deceived. I should have read the article before I
Yeah, because I
decided
just
to talk.
assumed this entire
It was
article
like
that the baby was in the car.
And it was just oh, somebody saved my baby. I mean, okay, it was still a big deal, but it would have been a bigger deal
I
and
can't
actually
get
worth.
off the bus.
I've fallen and I can't get. I've fallen and I can't get up.
All right.
Anyway, sorry about that, guys.
World's tallest hempcrete building in South Africa captures more carbon than it emits. I did not know that buildings emitted carbon, so
Yes,
this will be interesting. Oh, God, the first two words already, I'm rolling my eyes. With breathtaking views. We're talking about carbon emissions, breathtaking.
Oh. Sorry, it was like so.
With breathtaking views over Table Mountain, the world's tallest building made of industrial hemp is set to open in Cape Town this June. Industrial hemp. All right, folks, come on, in chat. Industrial hemp, come on. What is that? At 12 stories tall, the Hemp Hotel at 84 Harrison Street used carbon-negative materials that captured more carbon in the walls of the building than it emitted manufacturing them.
That's what it means. It doesn't just stand there and emit or not.
Okay, then. South African president, not even going to try to pronounce that, believes that the cannabis...
Cyril Ramaphosa? That wasn't so difficult.
Rama ding dong, okay. The cannabis and hemp industry could create 130,000 jobs in places like Aframat Hemp, the producer of the so-called hempcrete blocks, which went into the hotel. Made from water, lime, hemp, and cement binder, the blocks from Aframat Hemp are made of entirely South African hemp, which, along with selling to corporate clients, are also used to build a number of social housing projects in South Africa and neighboring Mozambique. I would love to open trade up with Africa and completely close it with China. That would be swell. It's just last time we did trade with Africa, it didn't work out so well. Too soon? We could trade them back. That'd be nice.
Now, stop that right now.
Okay.
We don't want to lose our one audience.
We don't want to lose our audience, yeah. For the Hemp Hotel, Aframat Hemp partnered with Wolf Architects in Cape Town for the build. The company admitted that hemp constructs is 20% more expensive than traditional materials, but the urgency with which some corporations want to tackle climate change offers them a unique opportunity. Selling carbon credits, but with buildings rather than trees. All carbon credits is the apologies that you could buy from the Catholic Church. They're just indulgences. They're not real. It doesn't help anything. It just makes us little people pay more for crap. Anyways, they go on to talk about how virtuous and wonderful they are. But it is fascinating that we're... The great thing about that is if there's ever a building fire, you won't care. It's cool, man. It's all groovy.
Yeah, I need to screen my own brain before I start posting these things because it turns into, I don't know, Rush Limbaugh all over again. Anyway.
What?
Anyhow.
All right, well, believe it or not, we're halfway through the second hour, so let's head on into... now see, that's why we can't have nice things.